Hi everyone. Today I want to show you a neat little program I found called TreeSheets. Uh, Currently I'm on the official website for the TreeSheets application. It is a free open source application for taking notes. I like it because it's different and it makes use of the keyboard keys, which it makes it much faster to make notes, and it's a lot prettier than using using TreeSheets. Is a lot prettier than trying to use bullet points in Microsoft Word. The website to download it at is strlen.com/treesheets. So you can just go here. The downloads are right on the front page, and it's pretty much easy to download and install. Okay, and yeah, there's no checkboxes or adware to skip, so it's pretty nice. This is kind of on the front page. You see an example of the TreeSheets program. As a surface, it does look really complicated. This window here is it's been designed to basically show you all of the features all at once, and that's why it looks so crazy. But it's actually really intuitive to use. So once you download the program, it basically comes with a tutorial when you first start it up. This is what you'll see when you first open the program. It's a tutorial written in the TreeSheets style. You can go through and you can read all of this and try it, but I want to give you a quick idea of how this actually works. When you're working with the TreeSheets file, you can click on any cell here. Every tree sheet is automatically divided into a number of cells. You have so here's one cell, there's another one, right? And then you can use arrow keys to move up and down between this, the largest outermost cells. If you want to insert a cell, you notice when you move up and down, it'll turn into a line. When that line is highlighted, just press enter and it automatically pops in a new line, and then you can type whatever you want. And then if you want to add another line above, you can do that. If you want to move any lines you want, I believe you hold control and move up and down. I like that. It's really slick. Now you notice this actually, when you move up and down, it works on the outermost cells. So the cell below it, right, is one big cell. So when I use control and push down, it actually shows up underneath. And then you can use shift, hold shift to select multiple cells, and then once those multiple cells are selected, you can move those all at once too. When you have a cell selected and you push left or right, you'll notice that you'll get this bar on the left hand side, and then or a bar on the right hand side, and that bar allows you to add columns. So you can add a column before a cell, right, by pushing left. And once you see that little bar, you just hit enter and you have a column, right? And then if you When you're editing a cell, you just hit escape. When you're editing a cell, just hit escape. Oop. Or hit enter. I think I hit escape and it actually deleted the text. So the little bar, right? You can add a columns in between, insert columns this way as well. And when after you type in what you want, you can, I think, press enter, and it should go to the next column. Right? So then you can use up and down to navigate, and then select column on the right. And actually, you don't even have to push enter. You can just start typing, and you can add columns this way. And it's nice because like if you're trying to make like a table, right? You could just write all of the column headers first, and then fill it in however you want. So as you could probably tell, TreeSheets supports nested tables, or nested grids. They call it a grid. And the way that you select a nested grid is just to click on it. So you can see when I hold the mouse over, it highlights the entire subgrid, right? And then once you have a grid selected, you can move between the same level of grids with the arrow keys, just like you did, just like we did previously. So this part of the tutorial, it basically, when you read this, it basically talks pretty much about everything that I've shown you so far. Click anywhere and a cell to select it. Push up and down. When you have a single line, you can insert a row. And you can move them around. You're holding control and moving up and down, or if you have more columns, right? You can shift left and right. Swap, move the columns around, just holding control. And if you want to delete the column, you just highlight like a cell and hit delete. That is I guess it's smart enough to know, hey, this is the only item in the grid. Right, so if I hit delete here, it gets rid of the row, right? And if I hit delete here, it'll get rid of the column. So it's a little smart about when you hit the delete button, what it does. I believe you have your normal functions like page up and page down, which is handy. There is, Alt, page up and page down. That actually allows you to increase or decrease the size of the cell. So if you're basically, if you want your cell wider, right, rather than having to go through a bunch of hoops in the menu, just hold Alt, push page up a bunch of times, and you make it really wide. Hold Alt, push down a bunch of times, and you make it very narrow. which I think it's that's pretty slick. So change the space a cell takes up on the screen. Hold shift, roll the mouse wheel, or hold shift and press page up and page down. So by holding shift instead of alt, hold shift to push page up and page down, it actually increases the font size. And I believe it also works holding shift and using the scroll mouse, which may be more comfortable for you. And then holding alt and using the scroll mouse does the same, same thing as holding control and doing page up and page down, which is it increases the size, the width of the box, but it doesn't. It increases the width of the box, but it doesn't change the font size. Holding shift increases the font size and increases the box. Pretty nice. I like that. And of course you can use the mouse wheel to move up and down. Now you'll notice this little kind of tiny picture here. This is actually a fully formed cell or grid, subgrid. All they have done is they've used the held alt, not alt. Let's see. There's a way to actually shrink cells. So this cell this subgrid is really small. So when I hold control and use the mouse wheel or page up and page down, this might be really confusing, but it has an idea of zooming. But when it's a concept of zoom. When you zoom in with by holding control and using the mouse wheel or hitting page up and page down, it actually it gives you the outer the parent cell, the cell I have selected, right? If I hit control page up, it gives you the parent cell all by itself. So rather than simply just making everything larger, it actually just gets rid of everything outside of the current cell hierarchy. So you'll see on the top it says cell formatting and zoom. So I will hit control and hit page up. Okay, now it looks completely different, but when we scroll up, you can see it says cell formatting and zoom at the top, right? So we actually zoomed into this, the next level of this cell. And if to bring everything back, you just hit control page down, right? Maybe hit page down a couple of times, then you notice it won't zoom out anymore, or hit page up, and you can see the thing about this zooming is, when I zoom out, you'll notice that this sub cell set, this subgrid here, is really tiny. When I zoom in, this subgrid is actually bigger. And the more I zoom into it, the bigger it should get. So now that I've zoomed into it twice, see the number 17, I can actually read what's in this cell. So at the top, below the 17, below where it says control page up, page down, you can see I can barely read. It says you couldn't read this text before, but now you can. Control page up, and now it's clear. It says 18. You couldn't read this text before, but now you can. So it's a slick way of allowing you to hide information that you want to get at, but isn't necessarily important for you to have on the screen all at the same time. If you have pages and pages and pages of text, this feature would allow you to do a lot of organizing all of your information without if you make the details really small, then you can focus on the higher level grids. If you make all of the text really small, you can focus on the larger grids and the logic flow of your notes without having to go through pages and pages and pages and pages of notes, right? And then if you want to see the details of your notes, you just zoom into the grid, right? It's not perfect, but it's definitely an interesting concept. As I'm sure you have noticed, some of these subgrids actually, you can change the font, you can change the font color and the background color, so you can make splashy lists like this. This is a subgrid for alcoholic drink. Yeah, I know you can change the text color simply by using this little pop down grid here, right? And you can change the border color. So I've noticed if you double click like the edge of a cell, like in between, it will highlight the entire cell, which is convenient. Let's try Control A. Control A does the same thing. It'll highlight the entire subcell. If you click on the parent cell, Control A, it'll highlight the whole grid. And like I said, all of this information is in the built-in tutorial that you get once you download it. It does support undo, as most users expect now, so you just hit Control Z, and if you accidentally delete a cell, or you hit you're on a cell and you just start typing, right, it gets rid of everything. So if you accidentally do that, you just hit Control Z, it'll put it back. If you want to edit a cell, right, first you press Enter, and then you can push down or click so that you can append or do whatever you want to it. If you want to actually clear out the cell and just type make new information from scratch, then you just start typing, right? It is kind of annoying to get used to, right? If you're typing, you have to press Enter when you're done. If you press Escape, it might get rid of the changes that you made. So it does support also Control Y redo. This certainly does take some time to get used to. but it's so easy to use and so flexible.